God bless you. Your boy Pastor G coming to you from Second Chance Church. Pray everybody's having an amazing day and an amazing weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers. Such a special day that we get to celebrate and take time out of the just busyness of their life and busyness of their year to just celebrate them. So truly want to give a shout out to all the mothers today. I know this day could be a day of joy, celebration, jubilation, as well as a day of sadness because we have some who have lost mothers. However, the joy in that is recalling and remembering everything that that mother taught you. So continue to carry that mantle and that legacy going forward today as you celebrate her life and celebrate everything and those jewels that she dropped into you as a mother that you are now have become as well. And to the sons who have lost mothers as well, listen, celebrate that queen today, even in the spirit. Make sure that you recognize and thank God for the life and the legacy that she's instilled in you and in your life today. Real quick, we're talking about one of the dopest mothers to me in the Bible. And no, it's not Mary, and no this or shade to Mary, but this mother right here is pretty dope to me. We're going to Exodus chapter 2. Exodus chapter 2 talks about the birth of Moses. I'm going to be reading the New Living Translation, and then we'll jump into the mother. I'm going to call her Jochebed. I know her name is Jochebed or Jochebed, but I believe in just calling her Jochebed because it's just a matter of how Yahweh produced this life through her, but also the faith that she had. So we're going to Exodus chapter 2. It says, about this time, a man and woman from the tribe of Levi got married. The woman became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She saw that the boy, or that he was a special baby, and kept him hidden for 3 months. But when she could no longer hide him, she got a basket made of papyrus reeds and waterproofed it with tar and pitch. She put the baby in the basket and laid it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile River. The baby's sister then stood at a distance, watching to see what would happen to him. Soon Pharaoh's daughter came down to bathe in the river, and her attendants walked along the riverbank. When the princess saw the basket among the reeds, she sent her maid to get it for her. When the princess opened it, she saw the baby. The boy was crying, and she felt sorry for him. This must be one of the Hebrew children, she said. Then the baby's sister approached the princess. Should I go and find one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you? She asked. Yes, do. So the princess replied. So the little girl went and called the baby's mother. Take this baby and nurse him for me. The princess told the baby's mother, I will pay you for your help. So the woman took her baby home and nursed him. Later, when the boy was older, his mother brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, who adopted him as her own son. The princess named him Moses, for she explained, I lifted him out of the water. Really quick, I want to talk about a mother's love. A mother's love. God, you're dope. Thanks for who you are. Thanks for today being Mother's Day, a day that we recognize the greatest creation that you saved for last, which is woman out of man's rib, and now have made them into mothers. Thank you for the loving kindness, the tenderness, the entire 31st division of Proverbs that you dedicated and isolated for them to be virtuous women and all that they do to mandate and take care of who we are in this earth. Now, God, allow this word to go forth, penetrate the hearts of your people, including mine own, in Jesus' name, amen. Mother's love is dope, man, because throughout this story, and I'll back up a little bit just to explain what's so unique and special about this, Pharaoh had issued an edict or a decree to whereas any newborn son or boy born be cast into the river, killed, exiled, or destroyed, essentially. So what's dope about this, I'm gonna pull out some quick little points here and get out of here because I know it's Mother's Day. We got brunches and things that we gotta be doing with the moms today. But what's dope about this is that she hid him for 3 months. So the soldiers would come all the time and take the babies away and discard the babies because Pharaoh, being the coward that he was, did not want the population to continue to grow because he was in fear that they will want power or to overthrow him if they continue to grow. Sounds kind of like our government today, but that's another story, another time. So he decreed this edict to say that he didn't want any more babies to be born. But what happens here is she hid him for 3 months. Now, if you think about that, and we think about today's society, when it comes to motherhood today, a lot of moms are not going to announce or declare their pregnancy until the first trimester is successful, because it's the most important, it's the most sacred, it's the most time that they're taking their time to do the most to make sure that they're protecting and nursing their womb, so that way that baby can be continue to progress and grow and transition into the next stages to get ready for birth. But it was the flip here, done differently here. How was it that she was continuous to hide her pregnancy throughout this process? But more importantly, throughout the entire 9 months of pregnancy, she hid that when she gave birth to the baby, nobody questioned it. It was a matter of after the baby was born, now that he's getting older, those same 3 months that were the first essential 3 months that a mother waits were very essential to the birth of Moses, because he was getting too big. And so she nursed him, and she continued to watch over him, and she continued to try to protect him for those first 3 months. But then he started to get too big. And that's what happens even in pregnancy. That's when you're starting to show those 3 months of pregnancy. That's people starting to say, hey, something different about you, something different about your appetite. Girl, you're getting a little plump around the waist. It's a matter of, yes, I'm pregnant, I'm with the child. But, and the flip side of this with Moses, he was already born. There was no longer an opportunity for her to hide him or to keep him out of the shadows of Pharaoh. So mom being mom and being faithful, she said, Lord, what's crazy about this is she put this baby in the same river that other babies died in. And when you think about a mother is going to do everything they can to protect their young, to protect their family. Sometimes you don't understand why moms work and operate the way they do. It's because they're trying to protect you from the environment that you're in. Some moms are very protective, whereas you can't go everywhere that you want to go. You can't hang out with everybody. You can't have no sleepovers and things like that. And it ain't because they're trying to rain on your parade or be boring or be just overbearing. It's because they're protecting who you are. They're protecting your destiny. The mother only knows there's something special, unique about their babies. They know that there's something in you. There's something about my child that I have to protect. And with that, this is what Jochebed was doing. She says, I have to protect and make sure that he's okay. But what's dope about this is, if you listen to the story, not only did she instill that in Moses by protecting him to send him down the same river that other babies perished in, her daughter essentially having and seeing that nature of who her mother was, had that same innate motherly instinct to say, I'm going to follow alongside him to make sure nothing happens to him. So as she puts Moses in the basket, sends him down the Nile, the sister Miriam is going to run alongside just to make sure that the baby is protected. Now, what if a crocodile ran up? I spiritually think that Miriam would have done anything she could to protect that baby down that Nile as it traveled down the Nile. But what's dope about God's timing is he's strategic. He makes sure that everything is set up in perfect transition. So at this time, he's going down the river. Miriam is following alongside to make sure everything's okay. Here comes Pharaoh's daughter, and she sees the baby, she sees the basket. The baby immediately starts to cry when she opens the basket. She says, this is the baby. It must be one of the Hebrew women's babies. And then immediately God says, okay, now you, Miriam, go. Tell her who this baby is. Tell her what's going on with this child and see if we can get the mother to nurse the baby. Miriam goes to Pharaoh's daughter, just as smooth as God is, and says, hey, do you need a mother to nurse this baby? Isn't it dope how God set things up to whereas it seems as if we don't know how we're going to provide for these children. It seems as if we don't know how we're going to make that next meal. It seems as if this baby is doomed because they're going in the land of nowhere, where they're in an environment where they feel as if I can't do much more for this baby, but God makes a way. And so the Pharaoh's daughter said, yep, go find a mother, not the mother, go find a mother. Miriam, being smooth and dope, just like her mom, goes back to the same mother that sends this child down the Nile, says, hey, Pharaoh's daughter found him. She needs a mother to come and nurse the baby. Brings his mother back to him to nurse him. She says, the Pharaoh's daughter says, take him home, nurse him, make him, build him, grow him. He needs to be nursed and taken care of. And she cares for him like her own because he is her own. But what's dope about this, I love this, and this is like the very first wake appointment to me. Because what happens here is Pharaoh's daughter says, I'll pay you to take care of the child. God made a provision for this child. Now, I'm not saying, and it wasn't documented anywhere that they were struggling before, but it got to a point that she could no longer hide him. But now he can be open and seen and taken care of because he's now shrouded and protected by that of Pharaoh, because Pharaoh's daughter said, this is now going to be my baby. This is now going to be my child, but I need somebody to nurse the baby for me because I can't do it. Could this be the very first surrogacy? Could this be the very first wig appointment? I don't know. I'm just saying, ain't nothing new under the sun. So what's dope about this is Moses is taken care of. He's nursed after his own mom. But not only this, if you think and hear this story, Jochebed had to give her son away twice. A mother does what she got to do to protect her baby. She's going to extract him from the environment that he's in. She's going to keep him protected. She's going to do what she got to do to make sure her baby is okay and kept alive, and more importantly, that his legacy is preserved. But what's dope about this is knowing who he was and knowing what he had inside him, God made sure that there was a provision for him. So not only did she give him away the first time, sending him up the Nile, but as you read on, it says that he continued to grow, and as he got older, then Jochebed brought the baby back, or brought the son back to Pharaoh's daughter, and she adopted him. And then she said that I'm going to name him Moses. I lifted him out of the water. And if you think about what moms do today, they do everything they can to lift us out of the slums, to lift up us as children out of our environment, to lift us up out of what they've had to go through and endure as their children. As parents, it's your innate ability to want your child to have better than what you had. And as a mother, that's all she's doing, is trying to get her babies to want to be better, to have more, to have greater than they had when they were growing up. And so now with Pharaoh having this name to Moses, saying that I lifted him out of the water, think about your mom today and all the sacrifices that she's made and all the crazy things that she's had to do to make sure that you continue to sustain and have life today. Honor her, because your mom is a Jochebed. Your mom has done some Jochebed type things. So where's that faith, that love, that mother's love? She's done some things to make sure that you're taken care of. But she's done it through the Spirit of God, leading her and teaching her and guiding her on how it is that I'm going to make a provision for this child if you listen and heed to my word. Thank God for the mothers today. Thank God for Mother Jochebed today. Thank God for your mom having that Jochebed spirit, the love of a mother, to make sure that she goes to no ends to ensure that the baby is taken care of today. Love your mama today. Give your mama a call. Make sure that you take some time just to say, you know what, Mom, you're dope. Thanks so much for putting me up the Nile River, taking me out of the slum, taking me out of my environment, and making sure that I was going to be a part of something great. So to my mom, thanks so much. You've moved around different things when I was young, so that way you can ensure that I was pulled out of the water, so that way I can be great today. Happy Mother's Day.